Today I discovered that I can use Claude Code directly here in the UiPath Studio. That is, I can open up the terminal down here and use Claude Code directly inside Studio. If you want to set this up first, then you want to watch this video before starting with the terminal here in the Studio. Let me show you today's case, and then we want to get started with Claude Code in UiPath Studio. So we want to create an automation that reads our Gmail inbox, summarizes, and posts it to Slack. By the way, UiPath is also sponsoring this video. Thanks a lot, UiPath, for making this possible. So we want to set up the connection to Gmail, and for that we go to the Google Cloud. That is, go to console.cloud.google.com. Then you want to create a project. I just go with the default one called my first project. Then you click the hamburger menu here to the left. Go down to APIs and services and click the library. Then you want to go up to the search box here and search for the Gmail API. Find it and click it. If this is your first time, you want to enable it. I already enable it. Then I want to click the hamburger menu once more, and I want to go to the APIs and services and find the OAuth content screen. What I want to do here first is to go to branding. My app is called UiPath. That is great. And we have a user support email, which is my own. That's also great. Then I want to go to the audience. So this is an external one. That's great. I can also see that my test user here is UiPath_demo.gmail.com. You want to add your user in this test state, which is just the Gmail that you want to use. Since that is done, we can go to clients, and then you want to create a client here. Choose a desktop app, and then we can also give it a name. I will call it UiPath, and then I will hit create. So here we can see that OAuth client created. Now we're able to access our Gmail from UiPath, or at least we are just one approval away. So then I can click OK here. Now we want to set up the connection from UiPath to Slack. So what we will do to be able to access our Slack with UiPath is to go to the automation cloud, that is cloud.uipath.com. Here you want to find Orchestrator, and in case you don't see it down here, you can just go up to the 9 dots and hit Orchestrator. Then you need to choose the folder that you want to work in. I'll just go with my workspace, the default one, and I will go up to connections here. Then you hit add connection, and then we search for Slack. Go click it. Then we are asked if we want to connect to Slack. Scroll down, hit connect. That will take you to Slack, and here I will click allow. Then the connection is loaded, and we now have a connection to Slack from UiPath. And now the magic happens. We want to introduce Claude Code in this video. So what I do here is to go to my UiPath Studio. Then I go to the terminal. If I type Claude Code is opening. If this is your first time you want to set Claude Code up with UiPath first, I created the full video, which is also in the video description below. Since we already done that, I can just prompt with my natural English words. Let's start simple. So I'll say create an RPA flow that reads all emails from a Gmail inbox using Google Workspace activities. and saves them to a list variable. I'll hit enter and Claude Code here in the UiPath Studio will go to work. We will build a few steps. Of course, we could one-shot this, meaning that we could create everything at once, but I want to show you some cool features. So here we can see that Claude Code starts to build. It will also ask us to a few approvals. So here it wants to read a file. Do we want to approve that? Yes. And it will also ask you a few other permissions. I think that's nice because then I can see what it does when it needs to execute something important, which is nice. But you could bypass this by simply just telling it to don't ask you for anything, just make each of the changes. So here we can see that it actually did something. It added a few dependencies while it still works. We can see here that it tries to do something. Well, what we will do is to fast forward a bit, since this can take a minute or two. And here it asked me to override the main XAML. As we can see, it's empty here, so that is an easy approval. And now we will see that it starts building. So here we can see that it gets the email list. We can also see that it says here, or it still builds, that we need to connect to Gmail. That makes sense since we haven't made that connection yet. We can also see that it creates an log message. It actually explains what it does. So let's go through each step before we do something. First of all, we need to add the new connection. So if I click add new connection here, I want to click connect here, and I want to choose the account which we set up. You also want to verify that it's you, so I'll go to these steps and fast forward over them. And finally, you will get the success message that the connection was created. I can close that here and go back to Studio. I also want to make sure that the email folder or label that I wanted to check is actually called inbox. And that is correct. Maybe I just want to do like this. And then I also see that we have a log entry here. If I go to the data manager first, we can see that it actually creates the email list here as a list of Gmail messages. That one got created up here, where we can see it took it from the output. We can also see that we have a few options here. For example, do I want to have only the unread, or do I want to look in subfolders, etc. You can also see that it limits the emails to the first 0, meaning it will get all the emails in the inbox. Then we can go down here and see that it creates a log entry saying a text retrieved. Then it shows the email list, the count, how many messages do we have, to a string, and combines it with the emails from the Gmail inbox text. We can go test it. So I can just go up here and click debug file, and you will see that it runs. And finally, when we want to inspect it, you can go to the output. Here we can see it retrieved 7 emails from the Gmail inbox. We only had 6 before, but we got 1 in the meantime. So I have 3 from Anders Jensen, and let's just pretend that these emails from this domain, that's my own domain, are actually emails that we want. However, all the other emails that could be from the I Love Automation AI, those are spam in this case. So it worked. We could get all 7 emails from the inbox. This is really nice, and I can go back to the terminal and continue with Claude Code. Let's get more detailed with the logging. So I want to add a new feature to the workflow. So let's just say add a new feature to the workflow. Then create 3 more variables. One must contain the total number of emails. Actually, it just did that. One must contain the number of emails from the annajensen.org domain, and the last one must contain the number of emails not from the annajensen.org domain. Then write these values to the log. Hit enter and Claude Code will again take over. It has knowledge about the flow, so you can actually edit your flow. That is just to prompt in your natural words. Again, we might need to approve, and here it is. So we can see that this was the log from before. Here we have the total emails to a variable. So it creates a variable called total emails, which is the email list.count, which we actually also used up here. Then we have the emails from the annajensen.org domain into the variable domain emails. And let us inspect this. So here we can see that Claude Code can even write LINQ expressions. This is highly advanced and something I struggled with myself as a UiPath developer. Then we can also see it creates a variable with the emails not from annajensen.org here, and that is the total emails minus the domain emails. So a fairly simple one, and it creates the log here. In case we don't need this, we really don't. That is the first log that we created. I could have asked Claude Code to delete it, of course, but let's just do it manually. So really, really nice, and something that will really speed up your building process here in Studio, that especially these LINQ expressions, which people always struggles with. The benefit of using it here in Claude Code in the terminal, that is also that Claude Code have knowledge about your workflow. If I use, for example, ChatGPT or even Claude Chat, then I'll need to give all that context myself. However, we haven't debugged it yet, so let's go up and debug the file. And again, I'm so impressed by this. And if I go to the output, we can see that we have 7 total emails from annajensen.org, 3 not from annajensen.org, 4 which were correct here. We have 3 from Annajensen and 4 not from Annajensen. Really, really nice. And again, I can go back to the terminal when I want to do more. Finally, let's also add Slack. So I just follow up here and let's say add a new feature to this workflow. Write the number of emails from Jensen.org domain to a Slack channel. Use UiPath integration service as the connection. I hit enter, and this was the connection that we created earlier. Really nice. And let me again fast forward a few steps after I might have approved a few things. And here it pauses. It actually asked me to which Slack channel should the email count be posted to. So here we can see that it asks if it should use the general channel ID or if I want to type something. Here I will say 3, so I can type something, and let's find out the actual channel. I want to use the all Annajensen.org demo. So what I just do is to go down here, and then I can say all Annajensen.org demo. So I will just give it that information. And here it finished. It actually created a recap. So what was done, which is nice. So here we have a change log. It added the main XML. Well, that was expected since this is our workflow file. But here, added a Slack sent message to channel. It also uses our channel here, and it found the connection. Validation status, it also built the project with a success. How to run both connections are real nodes. If something didn't work, we can also give feedback. But let's scroll down and find it. Here we have it. We have the post email count to Slack. So it uses the Slack connection, which we created. Nice. It also uses the channel name here. It have the number of emails which we asked it to, and we can see that it sends as, but we could change this. However, let's go test this again, which is nice. So we will finish here, and then we want to move to our Slack. There you go. Now you have connected the Gmail to Slack with the Google, from the Google to the Slack with the Claude Code as the middle layer. In fact, it was UiPath Studio, but for me as a UiPath developer, this is huge. Now it's time to publish this to Orchestrator, so we can set it up to run it, for example, daily. Previously, we need to publish it up here. Now we can also just use Claude Code for this. So I just go down here, publish this RPA workflow to Orchestrator and set it up to run daily. Hit enter, and Claude Code will also help us with this. And now Claude Code finished. So if I scroll up again, Claude Code documents what it has done, which is nice. Many developers could learn from this. It made the package headless safe, pre-published fix, nice, packed and uploaded, create the process. We can see it created it in the shared folder. It also created a daily schedule, placeholder time, nice. And here we can see that it also say things to verify. I think those looks good, and we can see here I picked 8 UTC as a sensible default. Let's go to our UiPath Orchestrator. So it told us it published it to the shared folder. So what you do is to go here, go to automations, and indeed we can see the process here. Nice. And we can also see it got a description. If I go to triggers, there you go. This is also set up as a time trigger. Really, really impressive. And I love it actually. I use Claude Code a lot in the default Windows terminal, but I like to use it here in the studio. Since I'm already in the studio building, I find it very natural to stay there. Your next UiPath and Claude Code video is right here. See you.